A little bit about our last speaker, Kartik. So Kartik's a very interesting guy. He has a lot in common with Zuck, actually. He actually dropped out of university to set up his own social network. Does that sound familiar? Very passionate about it. His social network is called Socialblood. And what Socialblood does is it uses Facebook to bring together blood donors with those that are in urgent need of a blood transfusion. So it's really inspirational in terms of what he does. It's an exciting story. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. The most important thing that I think about is it's interesting, it's motivating, inspirational, but more importantly, what he does saves lives. So with that, if you could just please welcome to the stage, Kartik.
Thanks, Dan. That's a really cool introduction. I'm really excited to be here at my favorite company. And I know you guys are having a long day, and thank you so much for hanging out, and hope we'll have a good time together. Just to set the context, how many of you here have ever donated blood or planning on doing so? Awesome. We have Red Cross waiting in the lobby, and after this session, we're going to get every one of you donate blood. To those of you who didn't get it, I'm just joking. My name is Kartik. I come from Bangalore via New York. Our mission is to make the world more open and connected. Doesn't that sound similar? I know you guys are doing a great job with it, and we thought we'll add a little something to it. Our mission is to make the world more compassionate. And our immediate goal is to connect the entire population of Facebook of over 1 billion people to their blood types and make Facebook the world's largest blood bank. So let me tell you a small story. 2 years ago, one day, I was at my co-working space in Bangalore, where I happened to read this news story in a newspaper, which brought me onto this stage today. The story was about this little girl from southern India who was suffering from a disease called thalassemia. How many of you heard about thalassemia before? Very few. Well, I hadn't. This little girl needs 30 units of blood every month to survive and to lead a normal life like you and me. That's 4 gallons of blood every month. Believe it or not, we're living at a time where finding a single blood donor is difficult. And you know why? Because most of us think it's not a big issue. And even if it is, one person alone cannot solve it. I knew nothing about thalassemia back then. As a matter of fact, I heard the word for the first time in my life. But I felt as an entrepreneur, I should be able to solve this. We are the only species on this planet who can actually solve real problems. I went and looked at current platforms people use to find blood donors. And I felt it's an empty place, uncultivated land. And I was not impressed by it. At the same time, I'm a heavy Facebook user. I'm one of those who logged in 2007 and never logged out. You can safely call me a Facebook addict. I have like 1,900 friends, out of which hardly might have met 90. I know even though you guys work at Facebook, you can relate it to me, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Facebook is a pretty unique platform. The billion of us are connected. And for me, I say, for my generation, is one of the most powerful things on the planet, above the planet and below the planet. I read this somewhere. If 1 to 3% of a country's population donates blood, it's sufficient for the country's need. In over 73 countries, the donation levels are less than 1%. Then I found this. India, the place where I come from, 81% of the Indian internet population is on Facebook. That's 6% of the population. Who here is from Brazil? Awesome. You guys are awesome. Out of every 100 people who use a browser in your country, 93 people has Facebook accounts. No wonder the productivity levels in your country went down. I'm just kidding. Where are the Aussies? Awesome. So the next time you go to a movie, talk to the guy next to you. I promise he has a Facebook account. 53% of your country's total population has Facebook. So this blew my mind. We just need 1% of a country's population to donate blood to solve the problem. So I said, if my social networking site can notify me that my friend Raj's birthday is today, why can't it tell me that Raj met with an accident and requires 2 units of blood? Or anonymously tell me that someone in my extended network needs blood? I went and looked at my friends, and I said, why can't I use these connections I have here and create a platform where people can actually help each other? Well, I created 8 Facebook groups for 8 blood types and invited my friends to join in. I know many of you use Facebook groups to get things done within your teams, but back then, for me, groups felt a little obsolete in the light of Facebook pages. But once I started using this tool to gather the blood donors, I really felt this tool is very powerful and can really change lives. With my minimal web designing skills, I created a portal and linked all these 8 groups and called it Socialblood. I then invited my friends to join in. Not only they joined in, but they actually shared requests for blood. People tend to think that the problem exists only in developing and underdeveloped countries. But to my surprise, the US has the same problem that of India and Brazil. Red Cross just reported this. So we decided we should build a platform that should be universal. Slowly and steadily, the idea went viral from my shared office space in Bangalore to people in Brazil, Italy, Japan, and the US. The press wrote about us and spread our story across the planet. I'd like to share a classic example of a man from Hyderabad, India, where he posted on Socialblood looking for blood donors for his daughter. Within 24 hours, he received 70 phone calls from across the city. I say that's the power of Facebook and human connections at large. That's when I understood that this is a platform that mattered. So after a year of spending time on the platform, we realized we still are not doing it right. We missed the most important thing, location. Think about this. You guys are in San Francisco. Would you go to New York to donate blood? I was talking to my taxi driver yesterday, and he said, dude, it doesn't even make sense to go to Menlo Park to donate blood. So in the next coming weeks, we're going to launch a platform that's going to disrupt the entire blood donation system. This tool is really awesome. This tool tells you how many of your Facebook friends has what type of blood type and who live where. You can actually tell how many of your friends in New York has O positive. The red dots on the map represent people who are looking for blood. Everybody can request for blood on the platform. The greens are people who are willing to donate blood, like people like you and me who just join in and want to help out. If you see on the bottom left corner, you can actually see how many of your friends share your blood type. This is how a blood request looks like. And then the best part is you can actually recommend a blood request to your friends. For example, some of your friends from New York, if they need blood, you can actually go see who in New York has the same blood type and is in your friends list. So we realized if we build a platform just for users and forget about other parts of the puzzle, we're going to lose. Hospitals and blood banks are a major part of the puzzle. And it's 2013, and if you look at all these hospitals who have these blood banks, they're using Excel sheets to manage their donor database. and they send postcards to donors' houses to come, asking them to come and donate blood. So we thought we'll build a tool for them too. By using this tool, they can actually request blood from the users. They can conduct blood camps, they can create events, and also they can recruit new blood donors using the Facebook platform. Socialblood was fundamentally started to make this world a better place. We didn't set out to make money, but to create meaning. We can't fix every problem, but trust me, we can fix this with the power of Facebook. I feel the entrepreneurs before me are so unlucky. It costed so much of time and energy to create a platform like this. But with the piping of internet and with the help of platforms like Facebook, companies like ours are able to come up from nowhere very, very quickly to solve big problems. I encourage all of you to, whichever country you may come from, to go sign up and be a part of this moment. Thank you. And before I leave, I would like to say something straight from my heart. I envy everyone sitting in this room. You guys are working for an amazing company, a company that is pushing the human race forward. I hope you embrace it. Thank you so much, and I would like to especially thank the global marketing team, Lucy and Jessica, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
But more importantly, what he does saves lives. So with that, if you could just please welcome to the stage Kartik.
Thanks, Dan. That's a really cool introduction.
A little bit about our last speaker, Kartik. So Kartik's a very interesting guy. He has a lot in common with Zuck, actually. He actually dropped out of university to set up his own social network. Does that sound familiar? Very passionate about it. His social network is called Socialblood. And what Socialblood...
I'm really excited to be here at my favorite company. And I know you guys are having a long day, and thank you so much for hanging out, and hope we'll have a good time together. Just to set the context, how many of you here have ever donated blood or planning on doing so? Awesome. We have Red Cross waiting in the lobby, and after this session, we're going to get every one of you donate blood. To those of you who didn't get it, I'm just joking. My name is Kartik. I come from Bangalore.
It uses Facebook to bring together blood donors with those that are in urgent need of a blood transfusion. So it's really inspirational in terms of what he does. It's an exciting story. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. The most important thing that I think about is it's interesting, it's motivating, inspirational.